Head Start and parents as teachers are examples of evidence-based programs that can improve children's future prospects for a healthy and productive life. Would you fund early childhood learning programs? Why or why not? Lisa?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I think that we need to advocate for as elected officials is the fact that these expenses are not merely expenses, but investments in the people of our state. And for example, early childhood education is a wonderful investment in young people. It's clear that it gets them off on the right foot, and they're much more likely to make gains all along the way throughout their entire academic career if we can provide that important foundation. And it really can be extremely beneficial. And so we do have an obligation to support our citizens and to do the things that we know will help our state to grow and prosper in every way that it possibly can. And it disappoints me greatly when I hear people only talking about the dollars and only talking about the bottom line. And yes, of course, we want spending to be controlled, and we certainly don't want to spend more revenue than we're able to outlay for these expenditures, but we must have a mindset of investing in the people of our state, investing in our young people.
Same question.
Well, in my canvassing today, I spoke with a young lady who is an occupational therapist, and she shared with me the fact that she's seeing a lack of personnel and resources to do the early interventions. And she shared with me the fact that as we, I think, all appreciate, the interventions done early pay off in preventing problems later in life and are more cost effective. It's the old question of, okay, do we build schools and colleges, or do we build prisons? And so I think it's much better to take those early interventions and than wait until later. And it's, of course, just like preventive medicine. So problems found early can be solved less expensively. So if we have a budget problem, these are things we need to look at, and this will help, I think, solve some of our budget problems.
Thank you. Mr. Delaney, would you fund early childhood learning programs?
If I had a magic wand that could fund at the level, I suspect that would be one of the top elements of funding. And I think the evidence, as Lisa points out, suggests that there are large gains in education outcomes from inputs like parents as teachers and early childhood education, and it will help improve the performance. I think in order to be able to afford those kinds of things, the state is going to have to do something about the revenue stream. But assuming that the revenue is there, I absolutely believe that early childhood education is one of the priorities that the state ought to look at, and it ought to be regarded as a part of a suitable education for the students, for the children.